Hello, and welcome to the Walk Back Home podcast. I'm your guy, E.T., and let's get into it. Once again, I have ran a glorious run. I think I may have retired another treadmill. It didn't break my record, but hey, only 1,071 calories in an hour, so a nice and fancy number, and I can rest my head so easily on that. A couple different things I got on my mind today, so let's get straight into it. I've been thinking about how certain people are more hobbyists than they are employees, and who can blame them? Who could blame them for actually using their God-given heads to think, to produce thought? If you really think about it, you only have one life to live. And who could blame anyone for trying to get the most satisfaction out of their own life, their own one life that they get to live on this planet? So of course there are going to be certain people out there who want to create art, who want to journal, who want to be photographers, who want to run, who want to cycle, who want to hike, who want to explore nature. Whatever the case may be, whatever your passion is, you can't blame somebody for following their passion in this one life that they get to live. You know what I'm thinking? The more that you work and the more that you show up and clock in, the more your mind clocks out. The harder you work, the more difficult it is to actually think, to actually maintain critical thinking skills, but not necessarily critical thinking skills. The more you work, the more it's difficult to just be mindful. If you never worked a day in your life, and this is not a diss on people who have never really suffered the 9-to-5 grind, your essence is more intact. You know what I mean? You're more authentically you than the rest of us. When a child is born, they're at their purest state. When a child is born, they're the closest to source than any other being on this planet. I wanted to talk about my fitness routine because it's more than just running. I'll discuss this more in the closing minutes of the podcast, but just for the record, I do lots of upper body. I used to be able to bench press my own body weight like 20 to 30 times a couple years back, and I'm getting up to 60, 65 pound curls in each arm. So yeah, 5-minute planks like it's nothing. I wanted to talk about Gnosticism for a moment, if I may. There's nothing new under the sun. And if you really think about it, before Gnosticism, there was the earlier stages of human existence. This is what I'm thinking about as I'm exhausted from running. This is what's rattling around my mind. I'm thinking about the days of the Neanderthals, the days of cavemen, whatever the case may be. Back in those times, I don't know if it's a well-documented fact, but it's been discussed that there were certain humans among those types of people that were more or less like shamanistic individuals. There'd be that guy in the village. He'd be like the medicine man. He'd be like the one who tries all the strange things in the forest first, if you know what I mean. excuse me. An individual like that would probably be the one who is first introduced to the spiritual realm, to all the entities that exist within the spiritual realm. You know, those spirit guides, those false angels of light. That's what I would like to call them. That's what they are, you know, because in the spiritual realm, when you're on an illicit substance, you're not going to meet an angel. You're only going to be introduced to these deceptive beings. But as, you know, we move out of the jungle, as civilizations rise and fall, and eventually we get to the arrival of Jesus Christ, there are certain people who accept that he is the one true living God. And there were other people, of course, who, even though it happened right in front of their faces, would deny it. And that's where you get the Gnostic texts. That's where you get Gnosticism. It's from these other sects of people who deny what has taken place, the miracle, the Son of God, who has died, who has risen, and who will come again. Just as when the second coming of Christ occurs, you know, you'll be talking to your close relatives, and they won't even care that Jesus is here when he's coming back. You'll be like, bro, you know, get off the Xbox 360, 720, whatever the situation may be, whatever console's coming out next. Get off the PlayStation 7. Jesus is here. Can't you see? Look out the window. And you'll just be like, yeah, I've got my own window to look at, and that's the screen, if you know what I mean. It'll be like some they live, we sleep type of situation. You'll have to probably beat the shit out of them just to get them to see, open your eyes, Jesus is back. And they still won't even accept it at that point. Well, you can't please everyone, and you can't save everyone. It's unfortunate to know that regardless of all the evidence that exists in this world, people still don't understand the lateness of the hour. It's disappointing to know that as the tribulation occurs and the wrath of God starts to rain down on this earth, certain people still won't know how to accept the love of God. They still will deny it up until the very end of their life. Just know that it's not too late. It's not too late. As long as you have breath in your lungs, all you have to do is accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. Confess with your lips Jesus as Lord and believe in your heart. You will be saved. Power of prayer will set you free from any demonic activity, from any demonic attack or infiltration that you're being faced in on a daily basis. I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. So tie up your shoe and relace it. Run a spiritual race towards the path straight and narrow. Run the only race that's worth running. Speaking of exercise, let's get back into this talk that I've been wanting to have about what type of athlete am I? When I post things on my channel, I market it as the calories burned, and then people either just see that and they think, oh, he's a runner. Well, that may be my super skill, because everybody who goes to the gym has their super skill. But I just wanted y'all to know that it's much more than just running. You know, I go to the gym. The only people who exercise more than me are people who are on steroids and stuff like that. I don't do steroids, you know. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to what it may do to you in your older years, your later stages of life. When I go to the gym, I'm not trying to be a gym bro. I'm not trying to get the most muscular build in the world. Nothing like that. I go to the gym because I think it's something Ronnie Coleman said. It's like some people go to church, which I'm hoping to do tomorrow for the second week in a row. Some people, you know, they meditate, they go to their temple. Ronnie Coleman, though, after his years of competing as a bodybuilder, he goes to the gym. He ain't pushing any serious records. He's just doing it because that's when he feels like he's in the zone. That's when he feels like he's getting his meditation. That's when he feels like he's getting his decompression, his serotonin released from his brain, his, you know, everything. There's something about the health and wellness and the release of energy. That's what it's more about. My focus is on health and longevity. And there's even Bible verses that back it up to say that, you know, I think that it goes something along the lines of, let the Most High God be the most important factor of your life next to your physical health and well-being, and take care of all aspects of such. Anyways, man. You know, a guy like me, I deserve to have like a film crew. I deserve to have the most expensive treadmill of them all, and I wish I could like seriously capture my exercise routine. And I hope that one day I could inspire people to be conscious of health and longevity, of diet, of which foods to avoid, and how to purify their psychological, emotional, and physical well-being through health and wellness. What I don't deserve is to be in a gym breaking treadmills, being too shy to press record because there's too many people in there that I don't want to capture amidst my training. There's nothing new under the sun. There will always be those who deny the one true living God. Just like there has been. Just like there currently is, and just like there will be right until the end. So never forget it. And just know that all these Gnostic texts, they're just created by people who deny the one true living God. Think about it. Have a good night. And an even better tomorrow. E.T. out. Don't be such a doubting Thomas now. Leave it. believe in Jesus. Who, hey,